What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael Weir, and this is my movie review for the movie A Quiet Place Part 2. Let's do the review. And so, guys, the movie A Quiet Place Part 2 is directed by John Krasinski. That's right, John Krasinski from The Office. He wrote and directed this one, and my God, did he land in this movie. I loved it. And he's actually in the movie in the very beginning. That's not a spoiler because that's in the preview, so just keep that in mind. But he's in it, and with the scenes he's in, too. I want to see him as a leading man in so much more. And I understand this movie was done and ready to release before COVID, and then COVID happened, and so everything got pushed, and I understand that happened. So now that it's done, that's all behind us now. Can he just be the leading man in like everything for the next year? That it would just be nice, that's all I'm saying. But the movie stars Emily Blunt, and it also stars Cillian Murphy as two of the last survivors in this desolate world, or so they think. As you know from the ending of A Quiet Place, Emily Blunt is alone with her children now, her newborn baby, her son, and her deaf daughter, and they found a way to actually kill the monsters. They have this frequency that they were able to project through a speaker, and then it opens its armored face, and she's, bop, killed the thing. And this movie starts right there. I mean, it does show you day one, so it shows you before, but then when that's done, it says A Quiet Place Part 2, and then it goes into it. Man, it starts right there with her cocking that shotgun and saying, let's get the hell out of here. And they do, they take off, and they're running from these monsters, and they're trying to get away from them, and then they have a showdown with one of them in a field, and pop, they kill him, and Cillian Murphy sees the whole thing, and he's like, so how'd you do that? And so they get together, and I didn't know what this movie was going to be going into it. I mean, that's all the previews basically showed us, was what this movie was. So I wasn't sure, okay, are they going to take it to the aliens now, or what are they going to do? Kind of a little bit of everything. The daughter decides, hey, I'm going to go off and I'm going to try to project this signal onto a higher frequencies to get this out to more people so that people know, hey, this is a way we can actually defeat these aliens. Emily Blunt, she's got to take care of her newborn and her son. And so she's like, well, I can't go. So Cillian Murphy, will you go and try to bring her back because she doesn't know what she's doing. So he's like, it's not really my thing. But after some talking, he's convinced, and he's like, all right, I'll go bring her back. Now, that's really all I could tell you guys without going into some major spoilers that happen in this movie, so I don't want to go into it. All I could tell you is things I like, things I dislike, and I'll give the movie a rating. But I promise, I'm just trying not to spoil it because I liked this movie so much. So there's a few of the things I like in this movie. Well, the scares are great. Like I said in previous reviews, jump scares sometimes work, sometimes don't work, sometimes there's too much. This movie had the perfect amount of jump scares. Because those aliens, like, if you see one of those aliens, they're not terrifying. But when you see one of those aliens right in front of you in the movie theater, they're extremely terrifying. And they do a great job of making that happen. Another thing I like about this movie, well, it's the sound. And this is what I liked about the first movie too, but the sound mixing in this movie is so damn good because anytime, they got to be really quiet. And so you'll hear like, there's not really any wildlife left, right? Because these monsters have killed everything. So there's not much sound going on. There's not much music playing throughout the movie. You have these just very intense moments. But where it gets really intense is when the deaf girl, when you hear nothing at all and the deaf girl's on screen, you're like, ah, shoot. This means we're hearing what she can hear, which is nothing. And then boom, sure enough, here comes an alien right behind her. And it's terrifying. These monsters are just grotesque, and she has no idea you're there, and it almost makes you feel like you're there with them. And again, maybe this was just the theater I was in, I saw it in IMAX, but the way they were able to do the sound mixing with this, where they had sounds over here where you legitimately were like, wait a minute, is there a monster off the screen now over there? I mean, they did such a great job mixing this thing and bringing it to life. Honestly, this could have gone off the rails quickly. Like, you had a movie that was solid, one piece, done. It was like A Quiet Place. That's great. You watched it. I finished it. I felt complete. I was like, you know what? That's a nice ending. Maybe they'll live. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll find a way to take this to some sort of military that's left over and they'll take it to everybody. But I don't need to know. And then they said they were making part 2, and I was like, I'm worried. But I didn't need to be, because they found a way to make this intriguing and make me want even more. Another thing I liked about this movie, the sets. Oh my God. It's like an apocalyptic world. And I'm not always a big fan of that. But when they find a broken down train or they find a field where something used to be, whether it was a ballpark or a town, my God, there's just so many cool sets. Like at the very beginning of the movie, John Krasinski's making all this noise, grabbing these apples, stuff from a store, and later on they go back to that store and it's desolate. Things are picked through, things are gone. I'm sure there's dead bodies in there. Like it's so good. And there's a moment in this movie, which I won't go into, that had me on the edge of my seat. Right at the end of the movie, had me on the edge of my seat, and then the movie ends. And I was like, what just happened? Like, they did a great job. I've already said it once, but they did a great job making me want another movie. They really did. I mean, the way this movie ends, with all the characters and the places they are, what's going on, I need some closure now. I need some closure. So, Quiet Place Part 3, please make it happen. John Krasinski, please be at the helm. Please take care of this thing. Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, get them all back. Let's do one more. Do a trilogy. Finish it off nicely, and let's get done with it because I want to see one more of this movie. I know I'm hyped about this, guys, but I got to tell you, I have not had an experience like this in a theater for a long time. I thought maybe I would get it last year with Tenet. That one didn't do it for me. All the movies I've seen since then, it's just nothing has done it for me in the theater like this movie. And with all that being said, guys, I gotta go ahead and give the movie this rating. That's right, it might be the best movie of the year so far. And guys, that's my movie review. If you enjoyed this movie review, hit the like button, hit the share button if you want to share it with your friends. If you've seen A Quiet Place Part 2 and you want to talk about it, let's do that together in the comment section down below. Tell me your thoughts, tell me what you'd like to see improved on in the next movie, or tell me what you liked about this. If you notice, I didn't give you any negatives for this movie because I didn't have any. I really do feel like this is a perfect movie so far. Again, maybe there's something, I'll rewatch it later on in the year and I'll find a flaw with it, or maybe I'll see something I like a little bit more. But yeah, as of right now, I love this movie and I want to talk about it with you guys because there's so much that can be said. And finally, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do that because I got a lot of content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.